Hey everybody, it's Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard of Agentic Test Automation. And today I'm going to try in about 25 minutes to come up with a solution that I've got with my current project. So the first thing I want to do is share my screen. I'm going to go over to my top screen where I've got my development over here. All right. So I'm going to move this guy over here. And we should be able to add this to the stage. There we go. All right, so this is my project over here. I just completed something really cool. Was that I needed to have a project that would allow my test cases to run both in a dev and a production environment. And I've been able to successfully complete that, I'm happy to say. And it's all built in here. You can actually see I've set up several different projects: dev, prod, workflow, smoke, sanity. So I can run a small set of test cases or I can run a large set. And there's one over here called safe for prod. And basically what that means is that it's safe. It's a test case that is safe for production. I can run it against production. It's not going to mess with a database. It's not going to create anything or try to delete anything. All it does is these are only the test cases that kind of navigate around, search for something, verify that it found it, and then continue on. So um, I'm really happy about that. But here's the major problem is that when I run these test cases out here, if I run the full suite, that's about 130 different test cases, and they execute in about 12 minutes to get everything done in both productions, both sites. I have a custom utility that will output what's going on. It'll tell me exactly which user was executing when I did this. I also have under debug. You can see it under here. That one didn't actually do much of anything. We'll go back over here. So it's telling me which user is executing and what it's doing, and it's showing me, hey, I'm filling in something with a password over there. I am doing getting a bearer token so I can do some stuff. Um, and it's also, everything tells me exactly where it is and what it's doing. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that when this executes, uh, a lot of console logging goes out to here. Now, because this is a custom logger, I can actually comment out one line of code. I could go to, let's say, console.log, um, console log, I call it. Let's see, and I'll spell it right with an E. And there's like a constant law over here. And if I jump to it, I can go to the definition and it's a whole bunch of cool stuff going on there. It's adding in icons, it's changing the colors, all sorts of cool stuff that we're not going to go through today. But what it does do is that at the very end here, it says, hey, if this wasn't an error, if it doesn't have the word error and it doesn't have the word warning in it, just output it. Now I can disable this and I can disable for speed execution, but because all this gets put out so much, when you're running for about 12 minutes and this is putting out thousands of details, which, to be fair, Playwright is super fast at doing this. I'm not too concerned about it. There were other tools I used in the past that the more I did this, the slower the test went, and it became a bigger problem for me. But the biggest problem is that this is it kind of builds up in behind the scenes with some sort of I think it's going into some sort of queue, and that queue starts getting really, really big, and it starts slowing down. In fact, at some points, the test cases have all completed, or they look like they're completed because I know because there's no more browsers being put up. However, the console log is still putting out stuff, and it's actually, might take 15 minutes to do a console out. So what I'm going to try and do is come up with a solution for that by optimizing my console. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that we're gonna do over here. One second, let me just configure a little bit of stuff. All right, we're going to go over to uh, GitHub, get over to my GitHub over here. So I'm going to go and share this one more time, show you what I've got. Let's see if I can go share that one more time. Let's see. I want to go and share screen, entire screen. We will share this whole screen up here. All right. So here I am, back at our we have this right here. This is a GitHub desktop, and I like it better than using Git from the command prompt, because I just I have a problem trying to remember all the Git commands and the right way to do it, and I don't like to screw things up. So this is really cool. It tells me that I did a run and some data updated and some counters updated. But the more I make changes over here, the more files get added over here to our changes. These don't matter anything, so I can discard these changes over here. And then if I come back over here, you can see down here, main, the asterisk went away, and meaning nothing's changed from the main system over there. But what I want to do is I want to preserve this because this is a good working code. So I'm going to do a brand new branch, and the new branch is going to be custom console is what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to go create that branch, and then I'll publish that branch. And take a look down here when it says main. If I click on this, it'll switch to custom console. All right, so now I have a copy of the good working project. So the next thing I want to do, is to actually build a custom console outside of the project over here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go over to, we're going to go to my my system over here. We're going to go over to AutoIt, and we're going to open up an AutoIt script. This is a utility. Oh, I've got two open here. Okay. This is a utility that you can write code in BASIC. So it's really, really easy. It's a BASIC-like language, and it has literally, I'm not being facetious, thousands of sample scripts that you can go grab and then modify to make whatever it is that you really want to do. This was great. This has been around for almost 40 years, as far as I can tell. 40 years. Guys building their own little utilities, and I use it. I consider this like the mortar between the bricks of automation. My automation script, all this stuff over here, is my mortar, is my bricks, the big things that build the wall and build the tests and all sorts of stuff. But in between, sometimes there's something that's missing that I don't have, and I'll use this as my mortar in between to get things to go. One example I just recently did was that when I run all these test cases in parallel, they all lay on top of each other, and it looks like there's only one browser actually executing. And I have one of these utilities that runs in the background that goes, oh, let's move one here, move one here, move one here, move one here, and moves it around randomly in order to make it visible. It makes my demos look good. But we're going to do something different over here. So we're going to see if we can ask, we're going to ask, first of all, I'm using Claude Sonnet. Let's see. I'm wondering if I should use, I think I will use I'm going to Claude or you or something. Let's see. What's Claude going to do? He says he doesn't know who I am logging in. So we're going to go change this to Paul. Let's try that. Nice. Let's try Claude and see if he recognizes me as somebody. Kinda. Yeah, logging, signing you in. Thanks. Okay, so it now knows that I am actually somebody, and it knows me. So it says, I want to build an auto it script that will take data from a pipeline and display it in a window. All right. Data. Okay, so I'll just ask it to do that. And it'll think about it for a moment. No, see what it does. Look at that. It's just sitting here doing it. Isn't that cool? It's just creating it for me. La 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 la. I know. Vibe coding gets a bad rap. I get that. And vibe testing, probably even a worse rap. But my goal is to write code more accurately quicker, and this exactly does that. So I'm going to go and copy this, and we're going to go back over to auto it here, and we're going to go and save that. Well, you can put it in here. Now, a couple of tips about auto it is that once you've got the code in there, there's 3 things that you can do. So under excuse me, under tools, you're going to have compile, build, clean, go, and stop executing. You always want to build. You never want to compile. Build and compile do the same thing. They make an executable version of the script. And because I haven't saved this yet, none of it's active. So I will go and say save. And I want to call this custom console logger. I'll do that. Custom console logger, because do that. Cool. And I will save it. So now it's actually part of my project. Now that I've saved it and named it custom console logger, you'll see that the tools give me the options. I can compile, build, or go. As I was saying, never compile. Always you want to build. So I'm going to go and do a build over here. And the reason you never want to do a compile is because it will create an executable, but it will also encrypt the executable so that you can't reverse engineer it to get this code back out. The downside of that is that your malware software will not be able to look inside of it to see if it's not malware, and it will immediately go, hey, that's malware, and it will go and quarantine it. And we don't want that. So I've combined that. But if you do it as a build, then it makes the executable same way, but it can be reverse engineered to find out how you did it, which I'm absolutely cool with. Nobody cares on that, especially when you're saying, "Oh, it's basic." All right, so I'm going to go, and now I can say go, and then this will run it from inside this environment. But once you make it into an executable, you don't need to do anything. It'll just it'll do nothing. All right. So once you once you make it an executable, you can give it to a friend. They don't need to have the Skype editor in here. They just run the executable. It's kind of cool. All right. So I've been talking for about 14 minutes over here. So I've got this pipeline data viewer that this built. And I think it's done. Now we have to test it. So let's go back over to the script over here, and that's cool. And it says use it in a pipeline like this. All right, so I'm going to go and copy this. We'll bring up a console like a terminal. Is that the right? PowerShell, cool. And see if it works. So we want to paste anyway, that's fine. These 3 things, and it did freaking nothing. It gives me all sorts of errors and stuff, probably because I'm not in the folder that I need it to be. So I am going to go over to here and do file save. We'll do file. We'll say save as. We'll go and grab this path, and I will do cd ... and then cd, and we'll just do ... again, and then we'll cd to this cd. And because I got spaces in there, I have to have quotes around this, and it should take me right to it. There we go. Now we're going to try these one more time. Here's the first thing is like my text file, type my text file text to this. Now I don't think there's a text file. I don't think I created a file. Let's see. Hello from pipeline to pipeline viewer. So if I do that, and it said no, it's not recognized. And I'm like, oh, I'm at something. How can I not? So when it works best when the script is compiled, you'll need to handle continuous streaming, or do you want to do this? I want to send text from Playwright GHT, okay, from Playwright, let's spell it correctly there, to this console. How can I do that? All right. All right, so let it think about it for a minute, and I'll probably go and update this. And it says, okay, you can pipe directly to there. So what I want to do is, and it's updating this in order to do this. So we are going to do, we have send data to the AutoIt script. So we're going to go and copy this over here, this JavaScript. And I think we're going to go to console log over here. Let's go take a look at our console log app and see if we can test this out. So I'm going to go paste this in here, and code spawn require child process spawn this pipeline viewer. I think it did not know the name of what I had in there, so I'm going to go get the name is going to be, I like pipeline viewer. That's a much better name than what I came up with. In fact, I think I'll do that. I will take its suggestion and call it pipeline viewer. So we'll do file, save as, and we'll call it pipeline viewer. Here we'll do that. And then I will go and update the new code that it gave me. So I'll go and copy this, and we'll come back over here, do an all and paste like that. And we'll say stop executing, all right, because it was running, and we shall go build it. All right. So now we got a pipeline viewer in there. So if I go to my folder structure over here, I should see a pipeline viewer in there. There's my pipeline viewer. You can see that there's that's the executable. That's the uncompiled script, and this is the executable. So if I click on it, it should give me a window and says monitoring file, blah, blah, blah. Playwright can write to this file to send data. And it's got a mode in here, which is kind of broken off. So we'll have to see if we might be able to fix that maybe later on. So, and we have our Playwright script. So let's go over to our Playwright script and see if this works. See if it does something. So I'm going to go and grab a test over here, this one going through dev, and I'm going to go and debug the test so that it stops at this point. And the first point that we hit a console log, it will do this, and it will essentially put out these 3 lines. And if this works and comes up in our pipeline, then we'll be all good and happy. I don't see any errors. However, you didn't run my test. You rotten monkey. You rotten monkey, you. Is it running? No, it says it's executing. And maybe it's just early in the morning. I don't know. I'm going to turn off my prod versions. And we can do this. I'm going to hit stop over there. We'll give it another shot. See, maybe it hasn't had its coffee in the morning. And I'm going to go and tell it to execute this in a debug mode. And custom console is setting a setup. And then we should get a browser that pops up. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to be mad because I broke something yesterday. All right, there we go. It got to our point over here. So we're going to go and say, do this, spawn this viewer, and then there's our viewer. Do we have a viewer? I honestly don't think it's going to do it. I don't think it's going to do it because it was supposed to spawn it and then it would go and talk to it. But, you never know. Let's see. Let's go and we are writing out to this guy here and this guy here. And looks like this did not send data. So, because nothing popped up over here and I don't have a viewer. Well, you know what? I'm going to go close this because I think we're going to see if we can get it to spawn it directly. Maybe it was not able to spawn. Maybe we need to give it the whole path. So we'll give it the whole path here. We'll do that / and the automatic code is telling me, hey, you didn't put 2 slashes in there. You have to have 2 in there to do that. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That helped me out. So I'm going to go and stop this. And we got like 4 minutes before we end the session over here. So I'm going to see if I can get it to execute. And that's our pipeline viewer. So we're going to go and try it one more time. We'll go back over to our script over here and debug it and see what we get. So we're chugging away. And we'll just have one instance running over there. And here we are. We're going to go and do this and spawn this. Look at it. It spawned it. Yes. This is good. And now let's see if we write to it. Will it pop up? Hello from Playwright. Yes. This is test line 2, and this is more information. Well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. So maybe I'm going to go back over to this. We will hit stop. And that closed out the system that it spawned, which is good. So we're going to go back over to the AutoIt pipeline one more and say, I tried this, but it only printed the first line. All right, let's see what the AI says. That's a common issue. So it reads very quickly and then stops. You need to either keep things open longer or send all the data at once. Add delays between writes. I will want to keep the, let's see, stream open as I will be pushing text constantly over it. I misspelled constantly, but I'm pretty sure it understood what I meant. So it says, in order to do this, keep this in constant. Let me update the script. So it's updating the script so it can stay open. And we will give it one more shot. And then I have to run to another meeting. So I will copy this. Let's see if we can get this done in less than a minute. Go back over to my pipeline, select all, paste that in. Tools, we will go build, and we'll go run this one more time. Over here, debug, and see if we get our app and get all 3 lines in there. Fingers crossed. 40 seconds. This is good. I'll probably be, this is darn close. 25 minutes and getting it done. Not bad. All right, here we go. We're going to go to that process. We're going to go spawn it. There's our system waiting for data stream. Cool. And it kinda did it. All right. Oh, yeah. Console log. All right. Let's go see. Oh, because it's in the console log, I'm constantly. Okay. Project. Send this. Send this. Send this. Not as good as we thought. Well, everybody, I'm going to have to end this stream. We are going to come back to this later on in the day and see if we can come up with a solution. Have yourself a great day.